All right, I got my notes ready because today we're gonna go over my long-term foot solution. So I wanna start with the reference, and the reference is if you build a house on top of sand, the house is gonna fall apart regardless of how well you make the house, right? So my analogy references this would be the sand and this is your house, right? So regardless of how good you are here, if your feet suck, you're still building a house on sand, it's still gonna fall apart eventually. So that was my truth, at least, is when I was the most tight and the most weak, my feet were in a horrible position. So it starts out lengthening the bottom of the foot. This is the easiest to get into when I started. You're gonna notice this is important. I'm not just sitting on my toes, I'm like curling them up, and it really, you'll feel a stretch at the bottom of your foot. Don't underestimate this, it's crazy how big of a difference it makes because it gives you more access to everything else that I'm gonna show you. So lengthening this out and then over time, just placing more and more weight on it to the point where now my big toes are in a pretty good spot. I don't even feel too much of a stretch just because of the strength and the ability that I've gained there. But building this ability is the foundation. Then on top of that, we've got KOT calf raise. This is where it starts to build strength out of that toe. So a lot of people are weak, especially in the soleus compared to the calf. Soleus is a muscle that runs a little deeper underneath, and it connects down into the Achilles, which impacts the foot. So strengthening out of here, this is awkward, I'm gonna move this. But strengthening out of that position with a bent knee instead of a straight knee is super important. And then what I noticed is why this is so important is because when I strengthen at the top here, look, that position is the same as the big toe stretch, but now I'm actually pushing through my feet at the top. Super, super important. As I'm building strength here, I'm only using as much weight as I can actually push through my toes to build the bottom of my foot strength. Then you can build the other side as well, which impacts the foot, is the shin muscle here, because the tibialis actually runs from outside of your knee here all the way down to the inside of your foot. So training the front of your shin helps with shin splints, of course, but it also trains the bottom of your foot, which is super important. So we're trying to turn the sand into concrete. This is step 3. Step 4 is actually building a Peterson step up, which is just a reverse step up variation that I really only focused on when I was trying to build up my feet. Now you see them, I do this because I'm trying to build my ankle mobility as well. But when I'm focusing on my foot strength, I build Peterson, which is just going up onto your toes and then doing the reps from there and resetting every time. Now this takes a lot of concentration, a lot of focus. Most people don't even need any weight at all. Now I train it with weight, but for demonstration purposes, I'm not using it. But this, I've never seen anything else give me a better foot burn, and you're not gonna understand it until you try it. You might just want to use assistance for balance so that you can really focus on the bottom of your foot. But building this up along with the other 3 movements is super important. And then all of this fits in to the program. These are, I showed 3 of the 20 standards. The big toe stretch isn't really a standard. It's just a flexibility movement that we use as an accessory. But all of the other movements have measurable standards that you can work towards. The closer I got to them, the less pain I had. So if you'd like, you can check out the program down below. It's right now $19.50 a month, $9.75 for your first month for one-to-one coaching with me and everything else included, the program updated weekly. We adjust it along the way based off of your needs. So if that suits what you actually need, I suggest checking it out. But if not, I'm gonna keep posting these solutions every single day. So stay tuned.